What's happening? What's up? What's going on? It's your boy Sports Coach. Hey, National Signing Day in the books. You still signing folks. We're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of it. How you feeling signing such a big class, Coach?
Feel real good, man. A lot of guys that we signed were mid-year guys, and if you've seen eight offensive linemen, that's big. We'll come into camp with 23 to 25 offensive linemen. Learned my lesson last year with the injury bug. We're not gonna let the injury bug affect us in winning football games. So definitely excited about it. I always say that everybody has a good signing class, but at the end of the day, you got to win with the guys that you got on campus right now. So those guys that are coming, we're grateful that they're coming, but we got to make sure we focus and get the guys that on campus ready to rock and roll. But definitely a good class of guys.
And I jumped the gun a little bit, Coach. When you go out to recruit guys, especially at Shaw University, are you looking for a specific student athlete, or you just trying to get guys? You trying to get dudes, man, because it's one thing to know X's and O's, but the saying is you got to have the Jimmys and Joes. So what are you
Right.
looking for in a recruit for Shaw
We
University?
we definitely looking for a football player, a guy that can play. We lost a couple guys to some D1 AA guy, teams, which says that we got a good eye. But not only that, when you bring them on campus, it's the fit. Do they fit into our program? Are they a good kid? Do they come from a good home background? Do they really want to be a part of this program? A lot of kids, we don't have a lot of bells and whistles, so we can't sell a whole bunch of facilities. This is all about, do you want to play football? Do you want to have play a good brand of football, and do you want to win?
You talked about, before I pass it on to someone else, you talked about the injury bug that hit you last year. That front, the offensive line, you suffered through some injuries last year that really affected your season. We know, everyone knows you want to run the football. Were you purposeful in recruiting bigs up front on that offensive line in this signing period?
Absolutely. We want to look like a D1 program. We want to have we want to have at least 20, 25 guys. So that means that you got a fourth string offensive line. That's what it's all about. But with those guys, we don't want fourth string offensive linemen that can't play. If somebody goes down, we want them to be able to be just as good as the guy that was in front of them. So we've created competition at that position. And, the guys look good. They're not no big sloppy guys. They're guys that look good, athletic, and can move and can run. And we got to be able to protect our quarterback and sustain run drives, like you said. So we weren't very good in the passing game last year. So we got to get better at that. So we had to bring some hogs that can block running wise and protect passing wise.
I appreciate you, Coach. I'm gonna pass it on. I don't want to hog up all the questions.
I got a couple for, but I'm not gonna dig in too deep. Maybe on one, I'll look at the reaction of the face when I ask him about it. But I wanted to ask you about bringing in guys. You expect them to compete right away. Just looking at who you're bringing in. Some guys, some of them coaches put them on the bench. You get a guy just sit there and learn for a year. You expecting the majority of your guys to come in right away and start competing for starting jobs, or primarily just push the people that are there and be in backup roles?
I would say a little bit of both. Pushing, come in. I'm a firm believer if that freshman is right there on the same level as that guy that's been playing, we're gonna play that freshman. Want them to definitely come in and compete, and you definitely want that guy that's actually starting right now looking over his shoulder. That's how you win championships. That's how you become a good football team. But definitely the mid-year guys. We bought in 12 mid-years. Out of those 12, 3 of them are offensive linemen. We got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, 1 defensive tackle, 1 corner, and 1 linebacker mid-year. So we expect them to come in, learn our stuff, and push those guys and try to earn a starting position.
I was going to ask you about those, not transfers, but primarily, I know that a lot of coaches go for high school guys, trying to get them into the program, build them up. They don't want transfers coming in, a lot of them. I noticed you brought a few of them in. What was it that made them special? Because a lot of coaches tend to shy away from guys coming from other places.
Well, we addressed the need. At the end of the year, November, we addressed the need. We knew that we needed offensive linemen. We were gonna we want to sprinkle in those freshman offensive linemen, but we did want some transfers in here to give us depth in the spring. You know, a lot of times the spring is when you shorthanded, and 12 mid-year guys is really unheard of in the Division II program. So we went really beat the streets, and we met our needs. We went down each position and found out what we need in the spring. And as well, like I said, we had 2 wide receivers transferring here, but we're still going to sign 2 more wide receivers, but they're going to be freshmen. We didn't get none on signing day, but we're going to take our time with that one because we want to make sure we get the right fit for our offense and our program.
Here's the question that I want to see what your reaction will be. One in particular, bringing in under center from another CIAA school, Hickory Ridge kid. So that's why he stood out to me first and foremost. But can definitely spin it and get it down the field. How and what was it that brought him from Livingstone to Shaw, there, coach? And is he expected to be one of those guys that makes last year's guys under center look around and go, wait a minute, and possibly be your opening day guy?
Well, what's ironic about Silas is that coming out of high school, I was recruiting Silas out of high school. Just so happens we were too deep at quarterback at the time. I wanted to pull the trigger and offer him, but we just didn't have the money at the time to do that. I mean, probably should have, but had a great relationship with him. And one of the reasons why we ran the ball against Livingstone was we was trying to keep him off the field. He did a little bit of damage. He did throw 2 interceptions, but he was picking our defense apart at some point in time. Just built a relationship with him over the holidays. Came down and visited, and his father is a former coach. Set him at the board. Very smart, wants to be great, and you don't see too many 6'6" quarterbacks. That definitely what opened my eyes up, and his throwing ability. And being 6'6", he's pretty mobile. And the answer to your question about is he going to come in and compete? Yeah, he's going to come in and compete, and the best man's going to win. At the end of the day, we want to win football games. We know that position wasn't where we wanted to be. Not saying that those other guys didn't play well. It's just we got to create some more competition. You're only going to be as good as your weakest link. And I always say that when you win championships, you have guys at those positions that are the guy that's starting and the guy behind him is just as good. It's just about, creating the competition. We got some ideas. Christian, not going to be a secret with Christian. Christian going to play both. Christian going to play quarterback, and he's going to be a wide receiver for us. I'd be a dummy if I didn't put him on the field. He's an athlete. He's a lethal weapon. He can run. He can catch. So he has an upside. I told him the other day that you're going to be on the field probably more than anybody at quarterback and wide receiver. So, we're just going to be smart in the spring and teach these guys. Oh, by the way, I am the quarterback coach now. I moved from running backs, moved Coach George to running back coach, moved Coach Hester back to where he's comfortable at wide receivers. So I had a quarterbacks. So, they're going to get a little bit more teaching, and I'm going to be in their butts, and we're going to get better at the end of the day. I demand my coaches to work harder. So looking forward to seeing what we bring in here is competition level in the spring.
I think you might have been ready.
I knew you was going to ask that question.
I'll be that guy. Hey, I'm that guy. I'll take the heat on that one. Coach Oliver hit me with something similar last night when I was asking about a few recruits. So I'm that guy. But no, good on getting it. Good on getting the talent. And how important is that relationship wise to develop those relationships to be able to bring people to Shaw? And because when you're talking about what would bring somebody there, you sell what you got. And I'm not saying that other places have more, but you have a unique thing at Shaw. And how important is it to build those relationships and to recruit players instead of just to, like some places, how they got my brother to go to Georgia. They just brought him on campus and said, check it out. And he was sold. But with you, it's a little bit more to it. How important are those relationships to get somebody to Shaw and play for the Bears?
Well, what's interesting, we don't have what everybody else has. That's the interesting part. And when we get them here, what's funny is most of the parents and students come here, they already have a visual of what Shaw is. But when they come, they see that we care about the kids. They see that we're going to make them into, not just young men, but successful young men. We're serious about the classroom, downtown Raleigh itself, so they have a picture about how bad Shaw is when they come and they like, Coach, it's not as bad as I thought it was. We really like it. So credit goes to my coaches. Credit goes to, the staffs, how we, do our business and all that stuff. So it takes a lot, but, we dissect it all in 24 hours, show them around campus, professors, how close the professors are. Our professors literally come on the field and tell on their kids when they don't go to class. So it's not just about being a football player. We say student athlete. So I think when they come and they see that we got study hall and all that type of stuff, that, they buy in, and we've signed some guys that, we beat some other schools on that I quote unquote say don't belong here, but they loved the bond. They loved what we were doing here, and they just bought into our guys on campus, and they love what we had to offer.
Final one of those questions that I know I get hit with sometimes, but how important is it to have a stable head coach and a stable face at the top of a program for an extended period? Not just stability, but extended success too, to bring in the recruits, to know that you're going to be there and to know what they're going to get is going to be consistent, as opposed to some other schools in the CIAA that constantly shifting focus, let's say.
It's very important. We're going to lose some coaches year in and year out, by winning. We lost Coach Manigo last year, who was our offensive coordinator. But I much rather lose a coach like that that is elevating his self than to, just coaches just leaving for whatever reason. But winning cures it all. We didn't have that winning season. But the one thing our guys know that, you look around the room, we only lost 5 seniors, and you got guys like Sidney Gibbs back, Andre Brandon, Jamison Boyd, Akithio Carson, the list goes on. We've got a good football team. So it is very important that we stick together. It's very important to be still here, but, winning cures everything. I put the pressure on my coaches. Yes, I got a contract, but they got a year. If we ain't winning, we're going to have to find some other people to come in and take your place. And it's not to be mean. It's just to put some pressure on them and let them know it's a sense of urgency that we must win football games. And I'm not talking about winning 6-4. 6-4 is out the question. We got to be 8-2 or better. We've been 6-4 before. We've been 5-5. It's time to take our expertise to another level. And so the pressure's on them and the pressure's on myself. And look forward to having a better brand of Shaw football.
Look forward to covering you, and glad you're back. I'll say that.
Hey, it's gonna be. I'm telling you right now, the schedule hasn't come out yet, but we got an amazing schedule. There are no easy games. Just trust me.
Well, Coach, I want to circle back. You said you were the quarterback coach now. So, you play a little quarterback in your day, Coach. I got to witness it firsthand. Will you be sprinkling a little bit of your game into your quarterbacks this season?
Absolutely. We're going to change up some things. I mean, we're going to be a little bit of creative. You come out the spring, you'll see some different stuff to our offense, but definitely going to use some of the stuff that I did back when I played. But we still going to throw the ball. We still going to run the ball. We're going to be balanced.
Because I've never seen a counter act, that counter. Oh, you just get through that A gap so fast. I want to know if you're gonna bring that to the Shaw Bears.
Hey, I
don't want to give too much away if no one ever saw you play quarterback.
It's gonna be interesting.
Just say that. I got you.
Hey, Coach. Hey, this is Anthony. How you doing?
What's going on, Anthony?
Hey, man. I just seen you, listening to you talking about recruiting. I had a question for you about the backfield. I mean, you got like the best tandem coming back, running backs coming back, but you said you also signed a couple of running backs. Can you tell what they'll bring to the table, knowing that there probably won't be. I mean, I don't know. I know what they'll do once they get there, but my guess is they're going to be going through a learning process, watching the two top running backs. So, can you just tell me a little about them, what they bring to the table, and what you're looking for them? Maybe this year, but also in the future.
Well, we lost two freshman backs to academics, so that room got kind of small. So that was the sense of urgency of bringing in some. They're actually two prep kids. So
Okay.
there was at prep school. Trey Thorpe, who was at Myrtle Beach Prep, one of the best backs in New Jersey. What Trey brings to the table is a little bit different dynamics. Trey is got 4.3 speed, and not only that, he can catch. So Trey can play some running back. He may play some wide receiver. And then Jason is a little bit more of a pounder, kind of puts you in the mind frame of Sydney, but not fast as Sydney. But yes, they're definitely going to learn. But we're going to go a little bit more two-back sets this year. So that was the reason for also bringing in. So well, I would love to see Andre and Sydney in the game a lot more together to make defenses have to respect, and not, if Sydney in the game, they know that Sydney gonna run. Now you got to decide on who you're gonna stop. So we're gonna get a little bit creative and go more of a two-back set this year.
Okay, and well, the question I had, are you, with the recruits you have, are you pretty much set with the signees, or how important is it after signing day, seeing if someone may have decided to go to another school and didn't work out, and now they're wide open. How important is that part of recruit? Like it's over, but it's not over. Like, so how important is it after signing day?
It's probably more important now after signing day, because Division II, like, there's a lot of guys out there that thought they were D1 football players that didn't sign a scholarship yesterday. So now we go back to the drawing board. We still need two more D tackles. We're gonna sign two more D tackles. So our coach is gonna get on the road and start looking for more of that. We want to sign another corner. I'm going to Atlanta this weekend to a combine to try to find some talent there. We're going to sign three more offensive linemen. It'll be one more older guy that transferred from a junior college or from another program, and two more freshmen. So we still got some numbers of things that we need to meet. We're going to bring in another freshman linebacker. So we didn't get everything we needed. We lost some guys to signing day, so we're going back to make sure we cover those needs. But one thing I am a firm believer in: if there's a football player that I don't want to play against and he's available, I'm gonna go get him, regardless of what depth we got. If it's and you'll see some of that. We actually gonna sign a couple more guys that necessarily don't need, but they're that good and they can possibly start in our program. So I'm a firm believer in those guys that I don't want to play against in the CIAA, and it's a chance to get them. I'm gonna do my best to go get them.
Okay, appreciate it, Coach.
Yes, sir.
I don't really have anything else. Just that
No, nothing else, Coach.